You have 2 videos for the morning, sorry. Okay, so I don't use Bridge a lot, so forgive me for my lack of knowledge of this application. But I do know how to kind of navigate a little bit. The idea is that we can go to each image, and which with each image selected, there should be a metadata panel that we can look at the contents or the metadata of that image. And we can update it, we can save it, and then it can be accessible in your application. So InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, whatever. So here, there should be an accessibility InDesign folder. I'm going to navigate to that folder. I'm going to navigate to the, what? You don't have what? The files? Oh, so go to your desktop. And then we can navigate to the Photoshop folder. That's the project we're going to be working on. And then you can see there's a links folder in there. So if you open that up, you'll see all the links of all the images inside of that directory. And so you could click on any image that you want, and over here on the right, you'll find the metadata of that information. Ooh, look at that, it's pretty cool, man. Yeah. If you go to file properties, you can see some information about that document type, right? When it was created, dimensions, look at that resolution, image depth, color mode, that's pretty cool. If you go to the IPTC core, that is the core metadata for whatever content. IPTC is a standardization way of creating metadata tags. And so these are the ones that you can go ahead and write and extract within your project. Look at that, even the alt text for accessibility. You can write the alt tag right there, right away for all your stuff. What? That's pretty cool. So everything you see in here, we can type up for each image. Instead of having to do it inside of InDesign, you could do it in one go here if you wanted to and write that out. Yeah, if you're using a lot of reusable images, might as well do it anyways, right? Because then you don't have to do it all the time. Yep. And so accessibility alt tag, we can just write a couple of them and we can see if it can extract it inside of InDesign. So I'll just go from the top here. Adjustments. This is the adjustments panel. So here in the alt tag, accessibility, adjustments, adjustment layer panel. Yeah, just gonna do a few of them, right? Right, open that up. And then you have a description. We could do that as well. And then we have alt tag accessibility. So it doesn't have alt tag accessibility. Womp, womp, womp. You guys probably have 2022 Bridge. Look at the top left corner. What does it say? Adobe Bridge. Okay, so maybe I have the latest and greatest. That's okay. You guys, we could do the description. So the description will do that. So adjustment layer panel in Photoshop. Maybe I already added it in Photoshop for you guys. Lucky. If you do change it or update it, just hit the little check mark, boop, and that applies that to the image. So we can go through the next one, right? AI. So this is a AI Adobe. Let's say it's Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator document. Check. This is an icon. Maybe we'll make this into a artifact. what is this one? Yeah, artboard panel in Photoshop. Cool. Well, that's not the artboard panel. Black and white adjustment layer. Cool. Oh, this one doesn't have it. This is the brush settings. Adobe brush settings. Adobe Photoshop brush settings. No, inside of InDesign. Yeah, so go through and find a couple, make it up if you want to, right? I think I did a few of them in these files, but color, balance, properties. Color, range. Oh, come on. Export properties window. Anyways, you get the idea, right? Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd rather do them all at once like this than have to go through. You know, it's have a folder for all the images like this.
So when we go to our settings for the image, if we were just to choose the XMP description tag, it theoretically, I'm saying theoretically, it should be able to pull this information from the data of the image into your project. Also, this is kind of cool too. If you do put a description in there, there's a way to generate live captions inside of InDesign. And so if you wanted to say, figure 1-1 GIF document, you could actually pull this information from the metadata as well and generate that information inside of your document. You normally see this in technical manuals and tech documents, right? Figure 1-1, figure 1-2. Yeah, so you can pull that information there. So the more work you do here, the better it's going to be for you in the long run. So anyways, you can see, it's doing a pretty good job. I don't know what that is. Image adjustments menu.
The keywords, if you fill that in, like doctor, you can search for specific doctor.
Right. So I use this in Lightroom. Lightroom allows me to tag all the images when I pull them off my camera, so that if I'm looking for something specific, I can just do a quick search for birthday. Boom, and all the images of birth dates are going to open up for me. Or Halloween, all images of Halloween. So it's better to do this, maybe not through here, but through your, I guess you could do it through here. You can select all these images, right? And go to keywords, and then you can assign it a keyword. So new keyword, Photoshop, and then dink. And so now when you're searching for an image, it'll bring that up. So maybe I can also click these here, like this. And maybe I want to call this, panels, right? So now those images have been keyworded, excuse me. So when you're searching for something, you can look for panels. I think it's through here. Yep, look at that. And bring up all the panels within your stuff. That neat. I don't know. I don't use Bridge a whole lot, so I don't find this tool useful. Mainly because I use Adobe Lightroom, and Lightroom allows me to do the same functions as what you can do here, plus more. Okay. So as soon as you assign these values to these images, that information is stored with the picture permanently unless you wipe it out. So all this metadata will be with that picture forever until it's wiped out manually, and then they don't won't exist anymore. So now we can jump to InDesign and build our document. Yeah. So we're going to create a new file. It's going to be a print document. It's going to be of size letter size, and 8.5 by 11, which is fine. One page, we're going to turn off facing pages. We're going to have individual pages. We're going to have one column. I don't know my margins yet. Everything looks good here. Let's create this document. All right. Yeah.
So new file letter and then making it better.
Yeah, no facing pages. Yeah. Cool. So one of the things you want to think about as we're loading here is that anything that is not of importance, right, that's not actual content within your design, should be placed in your master pages, or now known as parent pages. So any header elements, footer elements, page numbers, design elements need to go inside the parent pages. That by default will automatically get set as an artifact, and it will not be rendered as an object inside of your tags. So if you want to do a cool design, do it there, right? Don't waste your time adding it to the pages panel, because again, you'll have to copy paste it, but it'll also be as an actual element within the document. So pages, a parent, that's where we're going to do most of our design stuff. Yeah. Yep, because you made it as a spread and then you turned it off. Do you have, is under your properties panel, do you have facing pages turned off? Okay, so then go back to your pages panel and just click one of those, one of the spreads, and just trash it. Mm-hmm. Got it? Okay, good. Yep. So the design we're going to do is pretty simple. I have this graphic that's going to be laid out as the blue design. And then in the middle where the content will go, we'll put a white filled rectangle, and then the content will go inside that space. Okay. So we're going to do a file place. Make sure in your A parent. So Adobe InDesign, accessibility InDesign, Photoshop ES1 folder, links, and we need to find the actual background link. Do I have it in here? Yeah, Photoshop cover AI. And that'll go right there.
Which folder was it in? I got it behind again.
It's like Photoshop ES1 links. And then it's called Photoshop, I forget something, Photoshop. Photoshop cover. Okay. It looks pretty good, right? It's got this really nice, cool blue design. It's got these cool little icons. Again, visually pleasing for the regular folk, but not needed for those who cannot see this, right? So that's why we put in the parent pages so that it doesn't get rendered out as a design or as content, excuse me. I do want to use this for majority of the pages. So what I'm going to do here is going to grab a rectangle. I'm going to draw it from the top left corner down to the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm going to make the color of that box paper. Properties, fill properties, paper properties, bam. Cool. I did to the margins, yes. Okay. Now, I don't want my margins to be half an inch, because if we put text up to the edge of this frame, it's going to look terrible, right? So what I want to do is bring in the margins inward a little bit to give us some padding along the walls. And also I want to bring it a little bit further inwards at the bottom so I can put page numbers at the bottom. So here in my layout, margins and columns, let's go ahead and reduce the outside margins inwards a little bit to give us some more space. So I don't know how much we need. I'm just going to eyeball it. $60 looks good on most of the area. And then for the bottom only, I'm going to bring up just a little bit more so I can put in the page numbers at the bottom. Yeah, it looks good. Yes.
You did 70 on the bottom.
I did 70 on the bottom, yes.
This, I guess, it's just the same as the one.
Oh, do you not want to use it in inches? You
Not really. Yeah.
could right click on your rulers here and just go to points, and then all your settings will be in points.
Is that permanent or just for this document?
Just for this document. Yeah, we can show you how to change it for InDesign completely. I'm gonna test you guys because you guys took an InDesign class with me already, so I gotta test you. I want you to add the page numbers at the bottom of your document.
Let's see, let me think about this. I had to do it the other day. What happened to the insert page number? Right?
Come on. You remember? Working on it. I'm not going to show you.
I thought it was like type and then insert special character.
You're close. Type. Insert special character. Then what? Good detective work there, Watson. Yeah. I'll never remember that. Actually, I remember that one. And so you should get a little tiny A in your document. Nice. Because you're on your master pages. Are you sure? Remember, we verify right here at the bottom left-hand corner. So make sure whatever you put in there on page 1, cut it out, put it on your master pages.
All right, now I'm back.
Focus, Daniel, son. Focus.
Margins, that was 60. What is this little doodad on the left?
That is, I don't remember.
I don't need it ever for anything.
I don't know. Let's find out. What is it? I don't know what that is. It's a good question. It has no importance. Maybe. Or maybe it's like a. Oh, I think I know. No, I don't know. Click to make the stories. Click to make this story the parent's primary text flow. So the idea is that you can set up a frame and the text will flow into that frame. So maybe that's to say, hey, if I put text, it's going to go in there no matter what.
Oh, so they have to do a text box?
I guess so. I don't know why you would do that though. That's yeah. Before we move on, let's take a look at something real quick here. Anytime you format your stuff, remember, we don't want to leave it as a inline formatting. It should be saved as a style, right? So even if it's just a page number, it's still important that we create a paragraph style for it so that we can reference the formatting options and keep it saved inside of this document. So right here in your paragraph styles, I'm going to create a new style out of that format that I just created. So hit the little plus sign. There it is, paragraph style 1. Open that up. And now we can call that our page number style. So page, página numbers, número de página. Page numbers. And since we're here and we're kind of you know, going through this whole process, you can see at the very bottom, there's your export tagging option. And so this is where you get to determine what type of tag is associated with this style. So there's tagging for HTML, there's tagging for PDFs. So you can see here, I can assign this as a paragraph or headings 1 through 6. More importantly, page numbers are great, but they don't need to be read to the user because the page numbers in the PDF document is read to the user, not the contents within the page. So guess what? You can assign this as an artifact. And so that will not be rendered out as content through the PDF generation. Oh, super cool. I like it. You'll notice that other tags are not in there, the lists and tables and stuff, because as soon as you make it into a bulleted list, it automatically adds the LI, the list body, and all that other stuff. If you make it into a table, it adds its own table tags, you know, and it's going to go that way. So we don't have to define that for those type of elements. But for paragraphs and headers, we definitely want to define that there. Cool. Real quick, just because we're here and I want to talk a little bit more. If we do a character style, you don't have to do this, but if we do a character style, same thing. There are specific tags for a character style, which is called a span tag. The span tag will go around the content, and then you can have that span around like abbreviations, right? Span around it, abbreviations. It doesn't really do a whole lot here inside of your character styles, but just know that when you do have a character style applied to your document, it's a span around this content. Yeah, anyways. Deleted. Okay. All right, things are looking good. I don't think we need a whole lot for this parent page. What I do want to do though, is this is going to go across every page, but we need a page for the cover that does have all this stuff. So I'm going to create a master page. So new master. It's prefix is gonna be B, and it's gonna be called cover page. Oh, what the heck? It said new, Anthony. New parent. There we go. B cover page. And on that one, we're gonna use the same graphic. I'm just gonna copy paste because I'm lazy here. I'm gonna go to my A parent, copy the blue graphic. Copy. Go to my B parent, paste it. There it is. I want an Adobe logo in there, so file place, Blue and Bright logo. There you are. It will be because it's defaulted back to the normal ones, which is totally fine. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Blue and Bright logo. And again, this is on the parent page, so it doesn't need to be defined as an artifact because it's already implied it as an artifact. Box. Because we're going to put the title of the document here. That's fine. You got to do your fitting option.
Oh, okay.
And this is InDesign. It's not yours.
Okay, it's gonna be difficult.
Go to your properties panel, and then under your fitting options. Never fill frame. You want to either do fill frame portion or fit content portion. How dare you stretch my logo and make it look ugly? You are not allowed to. Cool. Not bad. It's a good refresher.
It's only been a couple of months.
So this is the design. This space right here, the two lines that you see, that'll be a text frame for the actual title of this document. The rest of the document pages will be based off of this design. Cool. So on our our page one is going to be the B master. Page 2 and going forward is going to be our A master. Cool. We could already see a discrepancy in the page numbers. Yep, it should be 1, but we'll change that because it's part of the requirements of creating your document, right? But we'll leave it as 1, 2 for now. We'll change it before we spit this out. Before we move on, let's save this because things crash and things will happen. So file save, put it in your folder. Accessibility InDesign, Photoshop ES1, and we'll just call this Photoshop. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Photoshop 1 folder is fine. And let's replace the Photoshop ES1. Yeah. Whatever was there is now gone. Yes, replace it. Ours will be better. Cool. So I don't expect you guys to write this entire document. I do have a Word file in here that we're going to use to place all that content. You can see here there is a Photoshop ES1 Word doc. We're going to take all the content in there and flow it into our project and then use our own styles to format it, right? So this document we're going to import. So right here inside of page 2, I'm going to do a file place. Going to grab the Word document, Photoshop ES1.doc. It's okay, we're holding. So import it. And then if I want to display the entire document here, what do I press? You're exactly, because shift happens. Oh, what the heck? Where'd you go there? Sorry, give me a second here. No, I don't want that to be a text frame. Oh, you son of a object.
I need to show it on folder.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm getting annoyed. This document. There we go. Problem solved. No, mine was just not going in the right spot. I was getting very frustrated. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So you can see here, page 2, page 3. 3 has a number 8 there for some reason. Page 4, page 5. Things are looking pretty good.
You have the fonts like stored in this, I saw a font folder.
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna wipe everything out and we're gonna get back to, yeah. Yeah, just, it's okay. Just let it do what it's gotta do. So this is where we start getting into, creating styles and formatting this properly to get this to look the way we want it, right? If we leave it as is and export it, it'll be fine. There'll be some tags, but they won't be the correct tags. And so we don't want to rely on what InDesign, uh, we don't want to rely on what Word imports as it's formatting. We want to wipe it out with our own. So all the ones that have this little tiny icon next to that style name, that needs to be stripped away and we need to add our own to reference that text, right? So our job here now is to go through and create a style for each one of these main paragraph elements. Not only that, but ensure that it has the right tag associated with it, right? If it's a paragraph, it should be a paragraph. If it's a list, it should be a list. If it's a header, it should be a header. With me so far? So let's get started with the main sections. So on page 2 or page 3, wherever you're at, there should be a getting started title. Yes? I want to take that and make that into my main section header, section title, and make that a heading 1. The rest of them, objectives, lesson covered, working with Photoshop interface, image resolution, all those should be heading 2. And then heading 3, if it needs to be heading 3. You get the idea. So right now, to show you how this goes, remember we do this. We highlight the text. Yes. We reset it back to basic paragraph. So that wipes out any type of style that's applied to it. Okay. There it is. And then you'll create a new style for it. Paragraph style 1. Open it up, and then we're going to give it a name. I'll just call this section header. And this is where you'll format it any way you like. So give it a weight, give it a color, do whatever you have to do to make this into your header. Go. Do I have colors? We do have colors. Just keep it black. Keep options. We'll make this start on the next page.
Can you do the export tag?
I have not done that yet. Correct. Anyone.
And the only one that is a heading 1, I don't need to worry about top part 2 and 3.
No, just PDF. So section header. Let's do a cool color here. Ooh. Oh, that's terrible. Too bright. There we go. Nice. And so this is why it's cool. If you do your styles in Word, and we're going to replace them here inside of InDesign, check this out. Remember, this was applied a style called section title, right? If I trash section title and replace it with my section header style that I just created, anywhere that instance is applied, it's going to automatically assign the right style to it. Bam. So page 4, page 6, page 8, all those now have a section header header applied to it now. It's cool. Okay. Oh, someone's tired. So here's your task. I need you to create a style for these headers here, working with Photoshop interface, right? Image resolution, color mode. All those should be a heading 2 of some sort. So you can go ahead and label them whatever you want, call them whatever you want. Just make sure it's an H2. There are some smaller headers within the document. Make sure that's an H3. And I need you to create a style for your body text. So make sure that's a paragraph. And we need to create those 3 rules for me, please. So go through your document, swap out these black bolded headers with an H2 style of your choice with your own formatting. Swap out these smaller blue ones with an H3 tag style of your choice. And then create a body text style for all the main paragraph elements here in your document. Any questions about that? So heading 2, heading 3, paragraph body text. Let's format this document. Want to do it through your properties panel, keep having to open up all the time.
Oh, it's like.
Yeah, highlight it. Properties. Make any changes here, and then that one right there. Updates.
Oh, okay.
You do it.
That's good. No, that's.
Always go to properties.
What was this originally called?
Go to one section. Out. A little bit.
I worked 3 hours. Hoping not to work in. Oh, Gina, we got to set an alarm to check in for a fight. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't want to be in there. So I want to add like automatic space after.
It's space after. It's under your indents and spacing.
I just thought of that myself. Yeah, I forgot that. That was something I always did. Sometimes though, it doesn't seem to do a very good job. I added 4 points after. I guess it's just finding out.
Probably. Bling. Heading 2. Dang. Body text. That's the spacing. Man, I didn't realize I made this mistake, but it's all right. You guys won't judge me, right?
No. We learned from you, so show us what not to do, that's all. So if it's regular text, it should be tagged automatic or PDF.
As in paragraph. Yeah, and I made a style called body text. And so I'm actually having to go through the entire document and apply it, which is a bummer. No. Because I didn't apply a style to it in Word, so it didn't come in through here. Not that. Yep.
How are you not? Section 22, seriously? Oh, because I have a reason.
I think that's good. Body text.
Like, the word ones are 100% right all the time, so we don't have to retag or anything.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I've got, okay, so the title and then the level 1 objectives, and then lessons covered is something different, right?
Yeah, I would just call that like lessons header and then make that a H3 because it's a subheader of objectives. You know what I mean? You just gotta think contextually, like what's that header? Is it relative to something? No, then it should be heading 2 because it's part of adjustment layers main title.
This is really kind of a bullet. You know, really good.
This would be an H3. And then you just make it whatever it needs to be. That's terrible, Anthony. What were you thinking? Gosh, it's terrible.
In 15 minutes, I have to jump on a call with Brooks.
Oh, always on call, huh?
We have a rental car. And our flight leaves at what, 6:45 now? How long do you think it takes to drop the rental car off and shuttle to there? And for planning purposes? You think it's like godly planning?
Like 45 minutes. If you leave here by 3:30, you'll be comfortable for your flight. Yeah.
Down the street flight after class, and we're like, let's take it.
Good call.
Right, it's funny, some of them updated when I did that, some didn't. Like some of the headers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I misplaced some. Yeah. Yeah. How not to do something. Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why do you want it in Word?
Okay, I think I got it. Just my spacing's awful. It's god awful.
This is my, some of them, yeah.
It is very.
Trying to find. Yeah. Let's pause the recording because we're still working on this manually.